Welcome back to Euro Football Daily, and with the Champions League coming back to our screens, here are 10 players who'll be vital to their clubs in the knockout stages. 10. Paulo Dybala. In Cristiano Ronaldo, Juventus possess a player who has produced more magic in the Champions League knockout stages than anyone else. But his performances weren't enough to get the old lady near the coveted trophy in the 2018-19 season. While his hat-trick heroics helped them come back against Atletico Madrid in the last 16, Ajax proves too strong in the quarter-final, despite the Portuguese striker scoring twice and firing 8 shots across the 2 legs. For Juventus to go all the way, they will need more players to contribute on the attacking end, and Paulo Dybala has been their main man going forward in Europe this term. Despite making just 2 starts during the group stage, ranking 13th in the squad for minutes played, the Argentinian was Juve's top scorer with 3, while his 2 assists was only matched by Gonzalo Higuain. And they were important contributions too, a brace in the 2-1 home win against Lokomotiv Moscow, and the only goal in a 1-0 victory over Atleti, as Maurizio Sarri's side finished top of a tough group which also contained Bayer Leverkusen. Also leading the way in shots per 90 and ranking 3rd for key passes, Dybala's dynamism will be crucial if Juve are to progress beyond the last 8. Ronaldo's goals just aren't enough on their own anymore. Just before we move on to number 9, if you guys aren't already subscribed to Eurofootball Daily, what are you doing? Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss a video. 9. Mateo Kovačić. A bit of a wild card here, as Chelsea are not on most people's list of favourites for this year's UCL crown. But one man we hope will continue to impress for them in Europe is Mateo Kovačić, who was Frank Lampard's key man during the group stage. Following a disappointing first season at Stamford Bridge, Kovačić has come into his own this term. In the league, he's already doubled the goal involvements of the previous campaign and is a much bigger presence in the midfield, winning the ball back more often and completing far more dribbles than last term. The Croatian is essential to the Blues in ball progression and for keeping control in the centre of the park. He ranks second only to Jorginho for passes into the final third in the Chelsea squad. And in the UCL, he places 5th for dribbles among midfielders, completing 4.4 take-ons per 90 with a super impressive 88% success rate. His standout performance came away at Valencia. He scored, completed more passes than anyone else in the team, took 4 shots, completed all 5 of his dribbles, and also recorded a 100% tackle success rate. An all-action display in a game Chelsea probably should have lost. Lampard will need him on this kind of form if his side are to combat Bayern Munich's world-class midfield and make a dent in the knockouts. 8. Robert Lewandowski. Perhaps the standout performer in the Champions League so far this season, Robert Lewandowski continues to defy logic with his goal-scoring ability. At the time of writing, the Polish striker has racked up 22 goals in the Bundesliga, already matching his total for the previous campaign, and he's sustaining a frightening expected goals and assists per 90 of 1.3. Significantly better than both Lionel Messi and Ciro Immobile, who is the current top scorer in Europe's top 5 leagues. And in the UCL, Lewandowski has been unplayable, scoring 10 goals in just 5 appearances as Bayern Munich bossed the group stage, putting 6 past Red Star and 7 past Tottenham. That works out to a goal every 44 minutes for the former Dortmund man, and has helped Bayern amass a ludicrous 24 goals in the competition, 11 more than holders Liverpool and 1 more than Atletico Madrid have managed in 23 La Liga games. Furthermore, his importance to Hansi Flick's side is so great that he's been rested just once this season, completing the full 90 in all but 3 of the 26 games he's played in the league and Europe. And if he can fire Bayern to European glory, he'll surely come very close to beating Ronaldo's record of 17 in a single UCL season. 7. Erling Braut Håland. Borussia Dortmund face a tricky tie against PSG in the round of 16, with the French champions undoubtedly the favourites. However, the German side will be buoyed by the form of their new star striker, Erling Haaland. At the time of writing, the Norwegian has scored 36 goals in 27 games this season, the best tally in Europe. And he's shown no signs of slowing down since joining BVB in January from RB Salzburg for €22.5 million. On his debut against Augsburg, he netted a hat-trick off the bench and scored 8 goals in his first 4 appearances No other Bundesliga player has achieved such a feat. The 19-year-old is the top scorer in Germany this year with 7 goals so far, taking 4 shots per 90, with 3.2 of those hitting the target, a league high. And he's been just as impressive in the Champions League, scoring 8 for Salzburg this term, only bettered by Bayern's Lewandowski. Håland has looked at home in Europe's elite competition, averaging 2.6 shots on target a game, more than Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi. And if Dortmund are to make the quarter-finals for the first time since 2017, then Håland will be the key to that. 6. Son Heung-min. Spurs surprised everyone last year by reaching their first ever UCL final. They have Lucas Moura's heroics against Ajax largely to thank for that, but Son Heung-min also played a huge part. The South Korean scored crucial goals against Dortmund and Manchester City in the knockout stages, netting 4 goals in total. Fast forward a season and Son's numbers are even stronger this term, having already scored 5 goals in the competition and completing more dribbles and shots per game than Raheem Sterling. He's also completed the most goals for the side in all competitions this season. At the time of writing, the 27-year-old has 14 goals and 9 assists to his name, boasting the highest expected goals and assist ratio in the squad with 0.57 per 90, showing just how important he is to the North London side. The Asian Footballer of the Year was Tottenham's most prolific player in 2019, contributing to 33 goals, his best ever tally, and 9 more than Harry Kane managed, who is absent for the latter part of the season. As Spurs face RB Leipzig in the next round without their injury-stricken striker, they'll need Son to step up to the plate once again. 5. Fernandinho. In June 2013, Man City signed Fernandinho from Shakhtar Donetsk for €39 million. 300 appearances later, and he has a further 9 trophies to his name. The midfielder has been pivotal to this success, and at 34 years old, is still essential to the side, having just signed a 1-year contract extension. With injuries to Laporte and Stones, Fernandinho has had to fill in at centre-back, and although his team are set to lose their Premier League title, having already conceded 29 goals, 6 more than last term, the Brazilian has still performed well in an unfamiliar position. At 5'9", quite short for a defender, Fernandinho is remarkably good in the air, winning 2.2 of his aerial duels per game this season. That's the best in the squad, and more than fellow Brazilian international Thiago Silva. Although the oldest outfield player in the team, Fernandinho is still looking sharp, getting dribbled past just 0.5 times per game. Again, the best in the squad. He's also excellent in possession of the ball, with only Jack Grealish and Adama Traore having carried the ball further in the Premier League this season. And his importance to the side is reflected by his 70% win ratio, having won 149 of his 215 games, more than any other Premier League player during this time. City face a huge task against Real Madrid in the Champions League, but if they're to finally get their hands on the UCL trophy, Fernandinho will no doubt lead the charge. 4. Casemiro. Like Fernandinho, Casemiro has been at times an underappreciated member of the Real Madrid squad since breaking into the first team 5 years ago. The Brazilian midfielder has been a vital component of the European success enjoyed at the Bernabeu in recent seasons, even scoring the winner in the 2017 final, and his tireless defensive work has allowed Toni Kroos, Luka Modric and now Valverde to flourish ahead of him. And this season, the former Sao Paulo man has been at the top of his game. Possession adjusted, he makes over 11 interceptions per 90, the best record in Europe's top 5 leagues. With this kind of protection, it's no wonder Los Blancos also possess the best defensive record, having conceded just 14 league goals at the time of recording, and keeping clean sheets in over half of their games. But this great domestic form hasn't translated into dominance in Europe. Real finished 5 points off leaders PSG in their group, and will have to exercise the demons of last season's defeat to Ajax against a Man City side who also have a point to prove. If Casemiro can null the threat of a rampant Kevin De Bruyne, there's no reason why Real can't be serious contenders for the UCL trophy once again. 3. Lionel Messi. Staying in Spain, where Barcelona's hopes of a return to Champions League glory once again depend on Lionel Messi. The Argentine is having another fine season, with 14 goals and 11 assists in the Liga, the most in the division. However, his expected goals and assist value of 1.1 per 90 is the lowest of his career, and having topped the Champions League scoring charts last season with 12 goals in 10 games, it's not been his most prolific UCL campaign so far. The 32-year-old has scored just twice in the competition, failing to find the net at home to Slavia Prague. But having been hampered by injury at the start of the season, he is now getting back to his best. In the 3-1 win over Dortmund, Messi scored in his 700th appearance for the club, and has now netted against 34 different teams in the competition, more than any other player. And looking at his numbers, he's been unlucky not to add more goals to his tally this term, taking 5.3 shots per 90, only bettered by Lewandowski and Coutinho. He also tops the UCL charts for dribbling, averaging 7.8 per game, so ultimately no major signs of decline from the South American. With Luis Suarez facing 4 months out with injury and Griezmann yet to really excel in the side, Barca will be more dependent than ever on the little magician. 2. Mohamed Salah. Liverpool forward Mo Salah takes the penultimate spot on our list. The 27-year-old played a huge role in the Reds' UCL triumph last term and will be key if they're to successfully defend their trophy. In that Champions League winning campaign, Salah scored 5 and assisted 2, most notably opening the scoring in the final against Spurs. This season, he's looking even stronger in the competition, already netting 4 and assisting 2, while his shots per game are up from 4.2 to 4.5 this term, and his key passes have also risen from 2 to 2.7 per 90. Salah has now been involved in 27 Champions League goals in Liverpool. Only Messi has been involved in more since the Egyptian joined the Merseyside club. And he's also been deadly in the Premier League this season with 20 goal contributions. Only Kevin De Bruyne and Jamie Vardy have more. The former Roma man is averaging the most shots in the league with 3.9 a game and has an XG of 0.7 per 90, the second highest of his career. Inferior only to the 2017-18 season, where he finished the campaign with 32 goals. With 24 wins out of 25 games at the time of writing, Salah is set to fire his team to the Premier League trophy and could very well help Liverpool retain their Champions League crown. 1. Neymar. Unlike the others on this list, we haven't seen much of Neymar at all in this season's Champions League. Injuries and suspensions meant the Brazilian missed 4 of PSG's 6 group games, and in his absence, they still managed to top their group, go unbeaten and concede just 2 in the process. But his importance to Tuchel's side in the knockouts cannot be overstated. Last campaign, Les Parisiens would surely have defeated Man United had Neymar been on the pitch, with a frail Red Devils back line unable to deal with the double threat of himself and Mbappe. 1 year on, and the French champions look even more frightening, with Angel Di Maria back on top form and Mauro Icardi having a dream first season at the Parc des Princes. Nevertheless, Neymar is one of the few players, along with Messi, Ronaldo and Lewandowski, who can win games of the kind of magnitude required to win a Champions League all by himself. Just ask PSG fans, who saw him do it against them in 2017. Add to that a goal or an assist every 62 minutes in all competitions this term, and you have a man who, when fit, makes his team the favourites to win this year's competition. So those are our 10 most important players who can win your club the Champions League this year, but have we missed anyone else out? Please let me know in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this video, click on screen right now for more, and as always guys, don't forget to like and subscribe.